Good morning, Cullman, and thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Dustin Isom, and today is Thursday, December 19th. Coming up on Cullman Today, bird flu detected in Cullman County leads to the depopulation of over 116,000 birds. Wallace State Police Department completes advanced firearms training, and the Alabama Farmers Federation calls on Congress to protect farmers' relief funds. All this, plus sports, weather, and more, but for now, let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. In a concerning development, the Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries and the USDA have confirmed the presence of highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI, better known as bird flu, in a commercial poultry farm right here in Cullman County, as well as in a backyard flock in Pickens County. Samples from these flocks tested positive at the Alabama State Diagnostic Laboratory in Auburn. In response, state officials have quarantined the affected sites, and all birds on these properties, approximately 116,000 in Cullman County and 70 in Pickens County, have been euthanized to prevent further spread of the virus. Authorities aren't taking any chances. All poultry within a 6.2-mile radius of the Cullman County farm are being rigorously tested and monitored. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say this strain of bird flu is considered a low risk to human health and does not pose a food safety threat. Infected birds do not enter the food supply. Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries Commissioner Rick Pate and State Veterinarian Dr. Tony Frazier are urging poultry owners to stay vigilant. In a joint statement, they said, "It is critical for commercial and backyard poultry operations to remain alert and closely monitor the health of their poultry." The detection of HPAI in Cullman and Pickens counties reinforces the need to continue following strict biosecurity measures, including keeping birds enclosed without access to wild birds or other domestic flocks. Symptoms of avian influenza can include sudden bird deaths, sneezing, coughing, decreased appetite, and swelling of the head and legs. Poultry owners are encouraged to boost biosecurity practices, including cleaning vehicles and equipment, limiting visitors, and changing clothes after contact with birds. If you notice sick or dead birds in your flock, you're urged to report them to the Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries Poultry Unit at 334-240-6584. For more information on bird flu and how to protect your flock, visit the USDA's website at aphis.usda.gov. And moving on to our next story, the Wallace State Police Department recently wrapped up their annual firearms training and qualifications for the year. Demonstrating a strong commitment to excellence, they go above and beyond the minimum standards required by many other police departments in Alabama. While most departments require officers to qualify once with at least 70% accuracy, Wallace State adheres to Alabama Community College System standards, which mandate a minimum of 80% accuracy during both day and nighttime qualifications. Not stopping there, they've also implemented advanced training requirements not typically found elsewhere, ensuring their officers are exceptionally prepared to serve and protect our community. The Wallace State Police Department also extended a special thank you to the Hanceville Police Department for graciously allowing them to use their range for training sessions. And finally, in our top stories this morning, the Alabama Farmers Federation is calling on Congress to preserve crucial economic and disaster relief for farmers as it considers passing a continuing resolution to fund the government through March 14th. Federation President Jimmy Parnell said, "Farmers are facing the worst economic crisis since the 1980s. Low prices, high interest rates, and skyrocketing production costs made it impossible for many farmers to turn a profit this year. Natural disasters and delays in passing a farm bill made matters worse. We appreciate Alabama's congressional delegation joining lawmakers from across the country in fighting to ensure farmers' needs are addressed in the spending bill." The continuing resolution released Tuesday includes $10 billion in economic aid to row crop producers and $21 billion for farmers recovering from natural disasters. It also extends the 2018 Farm Bill through September 2025. For more information on how you can support Alabama farmers, visit alphafarmers.org. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up next, we'll dive into the Cullman Bearcats' impressive win over Hartselle. Sports is up next. Welcome back. In sports today, we're taking a look at the Cullman Bearcats' big win over their rivals from Hartselle on Tuesday night. Gray Hopper kicked things off for Cullman as he laid one in to give the Cats a 2-0 start, and after Hartselle responded with a couple baskets on the other end, Jake DeRoe converted and one play at the line to keep Cullman in front 6-5. Evan Wilson sank a pair of free throws to make it a 7-6 game, and that's when Preston Gay caught fire. Gay drilled a three from the left corner and was fouled on the shot, adding the free throw to make it 11-6. Gay knocked down two more threes to keep Cullman ahead 17-14 as the quarter went on. DeRoe finished another and one play to make it 20-16. Gay's third three-pointer made it 23-16, and Owen Graves hit a pair of free throws in the final seconds of the first to give the Bearcats a 25-16 lead at the start of the second. Brooks Lofton knocked a pair of free throws in to make it 27-19 early in the second quarter, and Gay's fourth three of the night put Cullman in front 30-19. After Lofton split a pair of free throws, Wilson laid one in to make it 33-26, but the Tigers were able to cut the lead down to 34-31 by halftime. The Cats found their rhythm on the offensive end in the second half, starting with three-pointers from Jake DeRoe and Emery Bonds early in the third quarter. Wilson scored inside and Bonds added a pair of free throws to give the Cats a 46-39 lead later in the third. Gay knocked down another three to make it a 51-43 game. After Lofton laid one in, Graves scored through a foul and tacked on the free throw to put Cullman in front 56-43 with less than 2 minutes to play in the third. DeRoe and Graves each scored again in the final minute of the period to give the Bearcats a 60-45 lead at the start of the fourth quarter. Back-to-back buckets from Lofton made it a 64-47 game early in the fourth, and Sam DeRoe drilled a three on the next possession to make it a 20-point game. Wilson buried a three from the top of the key to make it a 70-47 game midway through the period, and Jake DeRoe hit two more free throws and Lofton scored one more basket to put the finishing touches on a 74-55 win for the Cats. Gay led Cullman with 21 points in the win, Jake DeRoe finished with 15, and Lofton added 13. And that wraps up sports for today. After the break, we'll bring you 4 stories in under 4 minutes, including the Cullman County Public Library's Winter Reading Challenge, tips on staying warm from the Alabama EMA, and District Attorney Champ Crocker's recognition of 2 local officers. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Are you ready for a reading challenge? The Cullman County Public Library is kicking off the Winter Reading Challenge Bingo starting January 6th. Adults can submit a completed bingo sheet by February 28th for a chance to win prizes from local sponsors, while children can exchange theirs for a prize from the treasure chest. A big thank you goes to Monograms Plus, Warner Sporting Goods, and Karma's Coffee House for donating prizes for this exciting event. To join the fun, stop by the Cullman County Public Library and pick up your bingo sheet at the circulation desk. Next up, as the cold weather settles in, we've been talking a lot about staying winter ready. If you're planning on being outside, the Alabama Emergency Management Agency has some helpful advice on how to dress for the chill. First, they suggest dressing in warm layers. Layering your clothing traps heat and lets you adjust your comfort level as the temperature changes throughout the day. They also recommend avoiding moisture-retaining cotton. Cotton can hold on to moisture from sweat or snow, making you feel even colder. Instead, opt for wool or synthetic fabrics that wick away moisture from your skin. Lastly, make sure you have a water-repelling outer layer. This will protect you from snow, rain, and wind, helping you keep dry and warm. By following these tips, you can stay comfortable and safe during the chilly months ahead. Remember, proper preparation is key when enjoying the outdoors in cold weather. In other news, meet Toasty Tot, the Cullman Tribune's Pet of the Week. Toasty Tot is a charming 2-year-old border collie waiting for his forever home at the Cullman County Animal Shelter. Toasty Tot is an alert and attentive pup with medium energy who loves to stay close by your side. He understands leash etiquette, and despite thinking he's a lap dog, he's eager to have a job to do. Whether you're looking for a therapy companion, a hiking buddy, or just a loyal friend, Toasty Tot could be the perfect fit. His caretaker at the shelter says, "I just love this fellow." Toasty Tot's adoption fee is $130, which includes neutering, DHLPP vaccine, Bordetella vaccines, rabies vaccine, wormer, general exam at the vet, and microchip. If you'd like to meet Toasty Tot, stop by the Cullman County Animal Shelter at 935 Convent Road Northeast in Cullman. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 3:30 p.m., and you can also call them at 256-734-5448 or email them at cullmananimalshelter@co.cullman.al.us. And even if Toasty Tot has already found his new family, there are plenty of other dogs and cats at the shelter looking for a loving home. So stop by now and maybe you'll find your new best friend. And finally, some news we love to share from Cullman County District Attorney Cham Crocker. Crocker recently presented the District Attorney's Velour Award to 2 local law enforcement officers, Sergeant Josh McNatt of the Cullman County Sheriff's Office and Sergeant Tyler Jackson of the Cullman Police Department. Expressing his admiration, Crocker said, "I am proud of the bravery that all of our officers demonstrate daily. This award is for those cases in which an officer's exceptional courage in the face of danger results in the offender's conviction at trial." Sergeant Tyler Jackson was the first officer on the scene after reports of shots fired on Cottonwood Drive back in 2017. His diligent work was a major factor in the successful prosecution and murder conviction of William Maddox on June 28, 2024. Similarly, Sergeant McNatt was the first to respond to a shooting at Cullman Funeral Home in 2023, where a gunman shot 2 people. Crocker stated that he had no doubt that Sergeant McNatt prevented additional casualties. His efforts were critical to the conviction of Ori McDermott to 2 counts of attempted murder on September 18, 2024. Crocker added, "These guys don't get enough credit. We are fortunate to have such fine officers in the community, and it is a privilege to work with them." And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this message.
Step into Cullman, where local heroes and community spirit shine. Introducing Community Matters Magazine from the Cullman Tribune, your guide to inspiring tales and community spirit. Celebrate our local champions and dive into the festivities at Christ Kindle Market. Feel the season's cheer and discover stories that inspire. Community Matters Magazine. Connect with your community. Find your free issue at these locations or download a copy online.
Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Andrew Martson Tubbs, 46 of Hanceville, passed away on Tuesday, December 17th. A memorial service will be held at a later date. That finishes up obituaries for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. Now, let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of around 51. Tonight, keep an eye out for some patchy fog between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. Otherwise, it'll be partly cloudy with a low of around 33. Tomorrow, we'll enjoy sunny skies with a high near 50. Tomorrow night, we'll dip below freezing temperatures under partly cloudy skies with a low of around 27. And that wraps up another edition of Cullman Today. We appreciate you sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m., but until then, I'm Dustin Isom with Cullman Today, wishing you a great Thursday, Cullman.